Shut up and sit down.
Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside. Richards pursued. He pushes Jensen away. Pat Richards has scored.
Good evening all, and welcome back. Finally, we are back. Say hello to Aaron.
Hello, Aaron.
There you go. All right, we've done our part. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Good stream. It's been a good stream.
Yes, just thought we should touch base and make sure, let everyone know we missed them. And what else is there to say? Nothing else has happened in the game this week, I don't think. So I think we're good.
We love you all. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And the Tigers never ever played footy.
No, it's very unusual that their games get cancelled due to extreme weather.
I know, right?
But what can you do? I'm sure we'll see them soon enough. But yes, I think let's get that out of the way first. How do you feel after that? It was always coming.
Did you see my Twitter post? I cried. I was sad.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is that the one where you said you cried?
Yeah, sad Aaron hours. I was just done.
Which is understandable. Especially a game like that when I thought they could have won or should have won. Actually, I was really cranky at them because
coulda, woulda, shoulda, didn't.
When they took that 2 points, I was yelling at the TV. I was so angry. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what
my
is
head was
here?
in my hands at that point. I could see failure in my peripheral vision, and I was not keen.
And it doesn't matter if it's the Tigers or not, because anyone who does that, you're automatically like, it's like you're waving the white flag. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain properly, but it's almost like you don't believe you can. It's very defensive. That's what I was looking for. Defensive. It's a very defensive mindset of just get those points up, and we'll hope we can defend to the end of the game, which we saw what happened. But I thought it would have been so much better. I was screaming at the TV like, play out your set. That's a minute there. Even if you get tackled on the 5th, even if you don't kick the ball, the other team has to then go 100 meters and score. But I don't know. I'm not the Tigers fan though, so.
Tigers fan was just honestly crushed. I was of the same camp. Like, what's the point of going from 2 to 4? All it means is we have a slightly higher chance of going to Golden Point if they score a try out wide and then miss the conversion. But that's really all it did. The smarter play would have been to at least try and get it to a 6-point lead, if not an 8-point lead, which would have put the game out of reach at that point. So
yeah, it was a very unusual thing, and that's
even if they didn't score a try on that set following when the conversion would have taken place, they could have, like you said, kicked into the corners, gone for the repeat set, try and get the ball back from the short restart, and then obviously the Titans have more work to do. But again, the Titans get a piggyback penalty out of their own out of their own 20, and they just rolled all the way downfield, and well, we all know what happened. But that was another game where how many piggyback penalties did the Titans get compared to the Tigers? I think it was like 7 or 8 to 1.
Yeah, I haven't gone back.
I think it was for like a dangerous tackle or something.
I haven't gone back and looked at the stats for that game. The game overall wasn't even the best quality.
Oh, I'm aware of that. It was a shit quality game, but it would have been nice to get the win.
Yeah.
Considering we had a player sent to the sin bin when they probably didn't deserve it. Considering Kenny Mamalo didn't receive a penalty for Corey Thompson tackling him without the ball in a potential try-scoring situation. And considering we had yet another potential try not even looked at by the bunker for the second week in a row.
From what I saw from comments I've seen, even from some Tigers fans, I think one of your players knocked it on there in that run.
But it's one of those situations, just like with the Luciano Leilua.
It's
no call.
The principle of the thing, I think, is what you get at. Is like,
they are so anally retentive at checking pretty much everything, but 2 weeks in a row, something has happened with the Tigers that could have resulted in a try that didn't get checked.
Yeah.
And that's the annoying part, especially with Luciano Leilua, because we all heard the commentators say afterwards that they think it would have been a try.
A lot of people thought that. I thought it would have been a try because he had his hand on the ball the whole way down.
Yep.
It's not when if you are holding the ball for like a hit up, so if you lose control of it, you have to regain control of it. But he never had that control in the first place, so there's no control to regain it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that he bounced it though, but I referred it to, or I compared it to the George Burgess try for the Rabbits against us in Golden Point last year, where that looked like it was bounced too. But because he had the ball at least touching a fingertip all the way down, he was given it was awarded a try.
And we've seen a lot of those.
It was exactly the same thing, essentially.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those anyway, where they'll generally, if there's no separation there before it hits the ground, they'll tend to give it.
Yeah. The thing that annoyed me the most was Graham Annesley essentially diverting, like his little diversion where he said, "Oh, the ref's inexperienced, blah, 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 you're going to make mistakes." And I'm thinking to myself, hang on a second. To referee a game of football, you need to know the goddamn rules. Like,
but that
is key. You've got to know the rules to be able to referee a game. It's not like you're coming into it like a new job where you don't know policies and procedures. Like, I started my new job in October last year. I knew nothing about the policies and procedures of the job and everything like that. You referee say you're refereeing your fifth game of first grade footy. You've had to referee bloody reserve grade games. You've had to referee probably like under 10s or under 12s or whatever. You've had to referee Holden Cup. You may have even refereed some of the women's fixtures. Like, you have to know what you're doing to be given the first grade gig. So you can't say the ref's inexperienced. Yeah, he may be inexperienced at first grade, but he's not fucking inexperienced with the NRL refereeing as a whole. And the fact that was Annesley's excuse for Ziggy not referring that pissed me and a lot of other Tigers fans off. And I feel like that's completely reasonable.
Well, it is. I think it's an unusual one to say, because if it was in the moment 50-50 call, it'd make sense, where maybe he's getting a bit flustered because the speed of the game at that level is a lot faster. But that moment is literally, hey, I can defer this to someone else who can look at it on the TV. It actually having the bunker there is a safety net for him. So you'd think if he was inexperienced and that's their excuse, the bunker actually helps him that from that perspective, not makes it worse.
There's $2 million worth of technology there. Why wasn't it used?
Yeah.
They are, like I said, they are so anally retentive at using as much of at using the bunker as much as they possibly can. I've seen a lot worse awarded both try and no try, and they didn't even check that one. It's getting hard as a Tigers fan to not think that there's a bias against us, because a lot seems to happen that we are on the end of, that a lot of other teams, particularly the top teams, aren't on the other end of.
Yeah. Well, which is actually a good way to introduce one of the topics that have been brought up in the media this week, which is the discussion.
Look at me and my segue.
Yeah, which is the discussion around the fact that apparently the bottom teams, the lesser teams, I don't know, whatever word you want to use for it, cop a raw deal with the refs, and the top teams get an easier time with the refs, so they're getting more calls in their favour over the bottom teams, which is something I think you agree with.
Absolutely I do. Maybe it's a little bit of the one-eyed tiger in me, but given events of recent weeks, like I sent that message to you on Discord, I'm pretty sure, where I picked up like maybe 4, 5, 6 examples of why did this happen in the first 4 rounds for us so far.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is frustrating to say the least that we constantly seem to be copying the raw end of the deal.
Yeah, the ones I think are definitely very weird are the video ref ones, because they're very easy just to refer to them, and there you go. They're not like the 50-50 calls that can slip either way, but I don't think the bottom teams are being discriminated against, whether deliberately or accidentally.
Okay.
Sorry, I got babies in the background. I'm like, oh no.
Small little children running around the place.
The tiny humans.
I don't have those yet.
Yeah,
Can't relate.
It's coming. It's coming sooner than you think. Don't you worry.
Yeah, you have to ask the other half about that.
I think if she had her way, they'd be here tomorrow. But yeah, so as I was saying, I don't agree with that. Because I think NRL refereeing in general is very inconsistent. It's very on the fly. A lot of our rules require interpretation. That's why we have so many 50-50 calls in our game to start with. And then you take that and then you apply it to games where we have teams who can be quite ill-disciplined. Like the better look, you look at Penrith, we're a perfect example of it. We were terribly disciplined through the Griffin era. We were highly penalised. We had a lot of drop ball. We were terrible in defence. Like, it was ridiculous. It was really bad. And then
But for a lot of those years, you still made the top 8.
Yes, we did. Which kind of shows the point. It's like, and then as basically they won games on the natural talent they had coming through. Guys like Moylan, who literally carried us on his back in 2016 to a final series, stuff like that. And now you look at us when we have Ivan comes, we have that one really bad year because of the Mace stuff. I think a lot of that was attributed to the bad year, and they get disciplined. they have 2 good years, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my God, they're getting all the calls. And you're like, well, hang on a minute. It's a bit of a chicken and egg scenario. What came first? The good discipline or the good calls? Like, it's a bit unfair to say that, well, these teams work hard and are extremely, professional, and that, well, they're just getting good calls for it. And I think, and we are so emotional about the game, everyone is, and our teams, and I think people are seeing, the inconsistency that we have in our reffing and going, well, that's the reason why my team's doing bad. Because people are looking for a boogeyman, looking for a bad guy, and they're like, well, that's the reason. They see the bad calls that absolutely do happen in every single game. They go, well, that's the reason they're coming after my team. Like, you look at our game versus South, where they got penalised for dragging the South player back, and he absolutely shouldn't have been held. In the Roosters game, they dragged a player back like 15 metres into the in goal and got a line dropout, and Roosters players celebrating, and there was no penalty. You're like, well, hang on, why is that so different from our game to theirs? If we're one of the clubs that are being favoured by the refs, why did we not get the call but the Roosters did?
There was one call that I wanted to ask you about. Obviously, I didn't watch any games after the Tigers on Thursday night. I was absolutely done with it. But I've seen footage of your game that showed something rather interesting, to say the least.
Which bit's
essentially, one of your players made a try-saving tackle without actually retreating to the goal line before they made the tackle. So essentially, they were offside in a tackle. But
I've watched the game twice. Oh, pardon me. But I've seen a still since then where he looks like he's offside, but if the player gets back, then it counts. But I can't remember. I can't remember if he gets back to the try line or not.
I'm pretty sure it was. Do you remember which way you were running in the first half? Like, were you running towards the left of the TV screen or the right?
In the first half, we were left to right, and in the second half, we were right to left.
So you were defend in the clip I saw. You were defending the left try line.
So that's the first half then.
Yeah, like the left of the TV screen.
Yeah, I do know now the one you're talking about. There was one in the first half and one in the second half that were very similar, but I can't.
The one in the first half then is the one that I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, I can't remember if there was an offside player or not. Doesn't mean there was. Doesn't mean there wasn't. Yeah. I just don't remember specifically where all the players were. I do remember the one you're talking about.
It did appear that the player who I think was either close to the goalpost or like under the goalpost hadn't run back or hadn't gone back to the try line before proceeding to make the tackle, and then the Rabbits didn't get a penalty for that. So I said, I didn't watch the whole game, so I can't make a full comment.
I don't know. Where's all that chat? We need to ask the people in the chat. It's the quietest chat we've ever had.
Probably because we're a little earlier than normal.
Yeah, and we've been a bit inconsistent lately, unfortunately. But that's all right.
Life gets in the way sometimes. Yeah. We'll work on it though.
Yes, unfortunately. And I got really sick last week too.
Yeah.
So I struggled when I uploaded my Tigers video. I was struggling. You could probably hear it in the audio where I couldn't really talk properly, but I was trying so hard. I was drinking like the lem sips, the hot bloody lemon drink things that you can buy. And I was like chugging those.
You were sick and I was sad.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I was hoping I didn't have to come on the stream and like to talk with like clapping or something, like 1 clap for yes and 2 for no or something. I don't know. But that's what I mean. That like the calls in the NRL are inconsistent. That's something that's just there. But like that's why I think on TV they should show for the offside penalties whether the players were actually offside.
Mm-hmm.
I would love like a little replay in the corner or something where they show the offside players when they call it, because that's something that really bugs me. Like a team will be defending really well and they'll get called offside, and then we won't see that because the way the camera is on TV, it's right zoomed in, and I'm like, are they cheating? I don't know. We'll never know. But I don't know.
They don't show you all the details.
Yeah. Like there's one in the Storm game, like people talking about the good teams being favoured. Well, the Storm, I mean, was one that they called out, which I thought was really weird. I thought they got away with one where they gave away 3 6-agains in a row on their own try line, and someone should have been binned, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't. They got away with one. That was a bit disappointing. But the Dogs absolutely got a massive run in the first half where they were getting 6 against and penalties, though, which kind of goes to show you, like, hang on a minute. If that's happening, you know, why are they getting that? If they're the lower down team, shouldn't the Storm be the ones being favoured by the refs here? Like,
yeah.
Or why were we getting the bad calls in our game against us? Like, we're, you know, stuff like that. Like, if there was that bias, it wouldn't happen to us if we were like, so it's, hey AJ, nice to have you. I was getting a bit sad there. Evening, boys. How about them Panthers, 4-0. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? It's wonderful. We'll try not to rub it into Aaron too much, so we'll only mention it every chance we get.
Yeah, I can't relate, and I'm very sad about it. It would be nice to be 1 and 3.
Well, technically speaking, we have the same numbers there.
Just opposite way around.
So, I mean, well, the opposite side of the same coin there, so.
And it saddens me deeply. I am starting to lose a bit of my enjoyment for footy, which really sucks because I love footy. Footy's gotten me through some pretty tough times in life, and I've always had it there as something I can fall back to and enjoy. But now that I'm more and more into it, now that I know more of the intricacies and stuff, I'm seeing the bias. I'm seeing everything that we should get, but we don't. And I can see the way it's being refereed and the team playing garbage as well. It's all just, it's catching up to me. So I took a bit of a break from the footy after the Tigers game. I just wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. It like I said, totally made sense.
I'll start watching again this weekend, but yeah.
As I said to you, I said to you in the message, it's understandable why you'd want to switch off for a bit. I would. And we've had our bad years. I mean, in 2015, which is not that long ago, we fought for the spoon against the Knights. We just got away with it. Tigers could have easily been 2-2. Yes, they could have.
They probably should be.
You know. But
technically, we probably could even be 3-1. We were playing pretty darn well against the Storm.
Yeah, and the Storm was still in that stage where they were finding their feet too. So it's
we had every opportunity to win that game, and it was taken out of our hands as well. So yeah, potentially could have been 3-1, but none of them go our way, and we are sitting 0-4. And it doesn't look like it's going to get better this weekend because I think the line for the Sharks is like 18 points or something, so they're expected to smash us spectacularly.
Yeah, they are looking really good this year, so if the Tigers want to not get like mutilated, they're going to have to really show up because, yeah, the Sharks are getting better and better. They're looking really good. But yeah, I do think you'll be better once you get Dewey and all that back. You know, you'll have an actual spine. Your 6, 7, 9, 13, everything will be sort of, well, I don't know about 9. Your hooker situation's looking a bit dire, but
until next year.
Yeah, but when you have Hastings and Dewey at the same time, I think is when you'll start looking a bit better because you'll be able to control games. It won't just be, oh, here, Brooks, do something. Oh, he didn't do something. It looks like he's the worst player to ever have played in the entire universe. because at the end of the day, it's a team game. And Laurie's been a bit quiet, which happens. He had a pretty bad injury, obviously. And those young guys always have a bit of a quiet second year a lot of the time. As they say, second year syndrome.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting to happen to Penrith, but it hasn't really.
Well, no.
Been the case.
For us, it's an interesting one because they've got a lot of big game experience, which I think is what's helped. They've learned to sort of eat up pressure now and just do their jobs. And guys like Dylan Edwards, who, oh my God, I owe the biggest apology to. There was a time I didn't really rate him at all. He was getting injured pretty regularly. Like, I knew where his potential was. Like, you could see, all the talk was, the hard worker and all that, but he'd have the injuries and then he'd always come back from injury and struggle with confidence for a period of time. And it'd be really bad. He could never really get it going. But now, since last year, even though he did that injury, he played on with it. And not only did that obviously help us win the grand final, but it seems to have done his confidence a world of good, because now this year he's one of our best. Like, I wouldn't trade him for any other fullback in the competition. I know there are more X-Factor guys like Turbo and Tedesco and that, but, the work he's doing and just his contribution with the team and the way he balances the team out, I wouldn't trade him for anyone now, so it's fun. And then you've got guys like Staines, who he played half the season and then went back down. At the time, I really didn't like it. I thought, well, we know where he's got potential. You've got to let him develop. But Penrith are taking this slow approach to developing players now, which looks to be working wonders. So instead of playing a whole season coming into the next season and being sort of, having that second year syndrome, he's gone back to reserve grade. That got cancelled, so he essentially had half a year off or whatever it is, worked on himself, and then got to come back in, and look how good he looks now. I think he looks fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Like in that game against South, where Staines covered two defenders. Latrell Mitchell offloads the ball. I forgot for a minute you hadn't seen it. He offloads the ball. Walker races downfield. Staines catches him easily and makes it look like Walker's jogging. He's so quick.
Yeah.
Walker gets the ball away as Staines is about to tackle him. Staines then breaks off and goes to Johnston on the wing and tackles him and saves the try. Now, Johnston did get caught up a bit with Edwards, like he steps Edwards, but you could see when both of them were in full flight, Staines was much faster. It's interesting. So, I don't know. It's a lot of hard work has gone into making sure they don't hit that wall after a successful season. And it probably also doesn't help that I think the thing that everyone was talking about with that roster turnover, where everyone's like, that's going to do us in, it looks like that's actually helped. Because there is a bit of freshness to it. Like you said, that they're not hitting that wall as a roster. You got fresh, hungry, young blokes coming in who want to then prove themselves, and the rest of the squad can feed off that energy. Which, Hastings has done that for you. It's just some idiot decided to dig a hole with someone's face in the turf, and get suspended for 3 weeks.
I've seen worse tackles than what he did get. Less of a suspension, but anyway. My thing with that Hastings tackle is he went to contest it at the judiciary, and he was only contesting the grading. I've seen other examples where the grading has been contested. They haven't gotten the downgrade, but they haven't been suspended for longer. So I'm very confused as to why Hastings didn't get the downgrade and still got suspended for longer.
I don't even know. It's the NRL judiciary stuff. Who the hell knows what's going on with it all? From a fan perspective,
he would have been back this week which sucks. But anyway,
But hey,
I
at
mean,
least
we're
he's
missing
back for
so
next
many
week.
now. Yeah, he's back for Easter Monday. But we're going to get creamed Easter Monday because we're playing at CommBank Stadium and the ref hates us at CommBank Stadium against Parramatta. So
Yeah. AJ said, and he's bulked up a bit, which is helping. Yeah, he looks so much stronger and confident talking about Staines. Yeah, like he's not getting pushed back and all that sort of. You what?
I was talking to Chloe yesterday and she was talking about which of your wingers would have to be dropped for To'o when he comes back, and she was saying Staines. Do you agree?
I mean, I don't, because I'm a Staines fan. I've been sticking up for him for the last 12 months. Just because everyone else has been going at him, and I can see he's potential in there. He's got great instincts. I would prefer if Staines was picked. But from an objective point of view, I would like them to keep the combination there. Like a big thing last year, obviously winning the grand final was defense, and I think he's obviously defensively got a good combination with Crichton there. They're probably going to be the better defensive edge in the comp if they allow it to go. But at the same time,
also speaking of Chloe, I have a message to pass on from her to you.
That's ominous.
Hang on, let me just pull it back up.
Uh-oh. But while you're doing that, I will say if May is the one who gets it, he would have earned it, if that makes sense.
I found it. She has said, tell Ryan I take back my taking back that Taylor May is okay.
That's awkward.
There has been, she's posted a statement about him that was posted from the Western Weekender.
Some breaking news on the...
Yes, it's a club statement about Taylor May.
A club statement, Taylor May. Penrith Panthers can confirm that Queensland Police charged player Taylor May with assault occasioning bodily harm. The charge relates to an incident that occurred in November 2021 while May was on leave following the season. The club was made aware of the incident at the time, informed the NRL Integrity Unit, and undertook an investigation into the matter. The club subsequently implemented disciplinary measures against May while giving fair consideration to the circumstances of the incident and deemed the matter finalised. The NRL has not imposed any disciplinary measures against May, therefore he is eligible for NRL selection. As the matter is now before the courts, the club will make no further comment until those proceedings have concluded. Oh, can they... Someone
like brother, like brother?
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't sound like it's as bad because... if the NRL haven't stood him down or anything like that, then it can't have been as bad as his brother, but still, like, this is just... Can, like, NRL players not go one off season? Like, just give me one, guys, please. I just can't handle the stress.
Just give us all one.
Like, just 1 year where it's like a perfect off season with no drama. I don't know.
So, yeah, because she was talking to me about how much he's improved and everything like that, and how much he's showing. So she said, and she mentioned to me that she wasn't too keen on him at first because of his brother, but then after speaking to you, it was already like you turned her around on him or something.
Well,
so
look, he's just made a fool out of me, so thanks, Taylor.
Yeah, so yeah, she's just gone and taken that back because he's made a fool out of you.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say much on it. I don't know what happened and what's going on and whatnot. It's very vague. There's no details. The only thing I've seen is that they are just... And there was the really vague statement earlier from the Queensland News or whatever, and we didn't even have a name. So... yeah, I don't know. There's not much I can say because we don't know what actually happened.
All we know is what it says there about assault occasioning bodily harm.
Yeah.
Which does not sound good, but
no, it means
that still doesn't really give us a clear indication.
That basically means someone got hurt and there was some injury of some description. But I said, yeah, no details. So I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't affect the season too much. And yeah, I don't know what I can say about that. It's really frustrating. Just give us an off season of drama-free stuff. Come on, guys. Leave the drama to like NRL 360 and all that. They can make up their like phony headlines and whatnot.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, there's not really much to say about that one. And what's the other? Oh, that's right, the other one. Because perfect segue. Go from the May brothers into slowing the game down. That's been a headline that's come out this week. What's your opinion on that and the wrestle? Everyone's wrestling like the WWE apparently again. Blandies is not happy.
They need to pick something and stick with it. The fact they keep changing, or they keep attempting to change these rules during the season, it's frustrating the players, it's frustrating the fans, it's frustrating everyone. It's just like something needs to be selected and stuck to. It really does, because otherwise we're just not going to get anywhere, really.
Here's the thing, for a start, I think what they did with it was perfect. Where you've got a 6 again on the try line. Hey, Pete, how you doing? Wonderful to have you here. The way they've done it, I thought, was fine. A 6 again on the try line means you can keep your momentum while you're attacking. And a penalty in your own half means the defenders can't break the rules and keep you on your own try line. It's perfect. Leave it at that. Don't overcomplicate it. That was fine. But I don't think they even understand what the wrestle actually is, and they're the people running the game. So what actually slows things down? So what the 6 again penalizes is once the ref calls held and then the player does the wrong thing, they call 6 again, right?
Yep.
Now, that's not actually what creates the slow play the ball, though. What creates the slow play the ball is more what happens before the ref calls held. Now you'll notice the Storm are really good at it. They have that sort of, they'll catch and they'll keep them standing a bit and they'll move around and they'll get them on their back and then they'll get off. Or Penrith's favorite thing is where they'll grab the player and then they'll have like 3 players just push them back. Yeah. And as they're pushing them back, and then the ref will call held and they'll hit the ground. And while all that's happening, the defense will set.
Some clubs are getting away with a lot more than others as well, which is part of the problem.
Yeah, but none of that is worth a 6 again, even if the rules are refed properly.
Yep.
And that's where the slower play the balls come in, and as teams adjust to it, everyone's going to be doing that, going, oh, so if we adjust to that part of the game, it's fine. But at the same time, I think the battle between attack and defense is what makes the game. If you skew it too far in favor of one, you don't have rugby league anymore. And I get it. It's weird. It seems like they want the NRL administration or whoever wants it to be like an 80-minute highlight reel. You know how it's great. You might go on YouTube or whatever and you look up, Tom Trbojevic highlights and you'll see him making 80-minute tries and looking fantastic. And they're great to watch, but that's not what we want to watch for 80 minutes a game.
You want to watch the grind.
Yeah, you want to
see the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it's the contest that we're looking for. The reason it hurts you so much to lose that game because you were there, and then like at the end where you lose and you're like, far out. This is, that's a very PG way of what I actually said. Yeah. I'm behaving myself as much as I can.
I mean, I said my swear word earlier, so we'll stick with that.
Especially for a topic that really bugs me, because it's like the NRL administration and half the media don't actually understand what the wrestle is and what's causing things and the consequences of their rule changes and all this stuff. So it's like, yeah, it just bugs the hell out of me. The wrestle never went away. The 6 again never fixed it. It was still there because you still have the concept of a dominant tackle. Right, so if you get a player on his back, even without breaking any rules, you get a slower play the ball. You were entitled to it. You'll hear quite often where people will boo and be like, oh my God, Penrith are holding that player down for longer than they are entitled to. No, they're not. They're holding them down for as long as they are entitled to because they got a dominant tackle. Any team can do it. And that's why the traditional legs tackle that you see, that really nice grass cutter tackle, it's brilliant technique and looks amazing, but it's actually a really bad tackle in the current game because you can't hold the player down because it's not considered a dominant tackle because the player lands on his front. He's entitled to get up, play the ball quicker, and if you do try and hold him down like you would in a dominant tackle, then you get penalised or 6 again. But it's weird that the NRL administration don't understand this difference.
The balance, like the key word is balance. Find the balance, you get the best product. But like you said, they've been trying to go too far in one direction and then too far in the other. There's
deliberately at that, which is the part that really bugs me, because it's just insanity, because all you're just going to have is just fullbacks running the length of the field every game. Like, who wants to see that? And the team that wins will be just because they get, because they've got a Turbo or a Tedesco in their team and, whatever. Like, you'll never see an underdog win again. Like, the game you had against Melbourne, where you were in that game, you didn't win it, but if those were last year's rules, you'd probably get absolutely smashed.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it was set up, it was directly encouraging those high-profile, high-skill clubs to just run over the top of the smaller clubs. Because, hey, it looks good on a highlight reel.
Of course it does. Defense doesn't always look great on a highlight reel, but you think about some of the tackles that players can pull off. Like the ones the commentators react to where they get absolutely pile-drived. Legally, of course. Like
I know what you mean. The
legal pile drive, and the commentators froth over it. Like, you still need to find that balance. Like, free-flowing attack is good. In the case of the Tigers, any attack would be good.
Just poke with his team. Do something.
What's that GIF?
Yeah.
Someone is screaming at something else to do something.
Yeah, there is a meme with a little dude and he's poking a thing with a stick. He's like, do something.
That's the one. That's the one I'm talking about. The meme, GIF, whatever you want to call it.
They're all the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, it's everyone wants that balance. I don't know any fans who don't. That's why it's really strange to me, because the NRL administration is the ones who are like, no, this is cool, and who is asking for it? That's the question. Like, all those memes out there, looking around. I'm looking for who asked. Like, I do like the fact that they're making some certain changes, but that's like, I did the video last year where I said they're overcompensating, and that's entirely what they did. It's like, why didn't you just fix the one problem we had, which was teams giving away penalties on their own try line to stop the other team's momentum? Done. Once you saw that, it's fine. Because that's what was happening. Teams would give away a penalty on their own try line, and either the other team would keep trying to get a try, and they'd keep giving away penalties, and they'd just wait until the other team made an error, and then they get the ball back. Or the opposition would kick a penalty goal, and because it's only worth 2 instead of a possible 6, well, it's kind of a bit of a win there. Even though you've conceded points, but you've conceded 4 less points than you would have, so you've still won that in some respect, because then if you get the ball back, you score whatever later on, you're still winning. I mean, that's exactly what happened in the Tigers game, so no one cares about 2 points.
What do you mean the Tigers game? The Tigers didn't play.
It's been erased.
There was some imposters playing.
Oh. Yeah.
But they were too accurate. The imposters were too good.
The imposters nearly took it, so you have to get them to play again this week.
Speaking of the Tigers and our game, Pete and AJ, if you feel like it, go check out earlier in the stream later on because you missed my glorious rant.
I hope they're still here. Chat hasn't moved. Everyone's still here.
Roll call.
Yeah. Blink twice if you're being held hostage.
I blinked.
I didn't see it. Oh no. Volandis has got him, guys.
I'm suffering. Help.
Yes.
Self-inflicted.
So, yeah. I don't think you'll find too much disagreement with that. What's the last one that I can remember anyway? Because I'm getting old. I forget things.
You don't give me much hope for when I get to your age.
Yeah. The ripe old age of 36. It's all downhill.
I've got 7 years before I get there.
it's all downhill from 30. So once that happens, you just notice the decline.
Yeah, shut up. I'm not keen on turning 30. I want to enjoy these last 11 months before that happens.
Enjoy it because they're your last.
It's a better rant than normal, AJ, because I said a naughty word or a few naughty words.
Yeah, we got a naughty word out of Aaron.
I normally try and keep it pretty chill in these streams, but
Yeah, YouTube doesn't
things
like
have
it.
been happening. Feelings have been unleashed.
Well, unleashed more than Brooks, at least.
True.
Oh, I remember that. Where they're like, "Oh, we're going to unleash Brooks." Well, anytime now.
Yeah, averaging 9.5 points a game so far this year does not sound like Brooks or anyone for that matter has been unleashed.
Maybe you just.
But we have a fair few players out right now. We've been hit pretty hard by injuries already this year.
Yeah, well, no club does well with that. Look at the Roosters last year. As well as they did, they were a shadow of themselves.
They're still kind of a shadow of themselves so far this year.
Yeah, but they'll get there.
They have not gone anywhere near as well as everyone is expecting of them. Like they're sixth, which is well and good, but it's still like not very Rooster-like. They're 2-2. They lost to the Rabbits, and who else did they lose to? Newcastle. That's right.
Yeah. Though Robinson did say they didn't get much of a preseason. With combinations and that, so you'll probably find them pick up in the second half of the year after they've had time together and playing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, give them a few more weeks and they'll start to pick up.
Yeah.
They'll be back to being good by Magic Round, and I think that game between the Roosters and the Eels on the Sunday of Magic Round is going to be an absolute rip snorter.
Yeah, that'll be a good game. But damn, I hate when my own team plays Sundays. We're the last game this weekend. And oh my god, it's an excruciating wait when you've got to wait all weekend and to watch your team play. You're like watching everyone else play. I'm like, oh man.
Well, generally, after the first 5 rounds, most weeks the final game of the round is the Sunday 4:00 because the Sunday 6:00 goes back to a Sunday 2:00.
Yeah, well, we just finished that daylight saving, so.
We've got the final game of the round next week, and we have to wait a whole extra day, so don't you do too much complaining. We don't play until frickin' Monday.
Yeah, but they're all public holidays. Most people don't have to work, see, so at least they can enjoy it. I got to work.
We then also are the last game of Magic Round, because we are the Sunday late game for that as well.
You get a lot of Sunday games. I don't know if it's much more like that this year, but they definitely like you on that.
We've got, I think, 12 games on Sunday, but a lot less of our games on Sunday this year are actually free-to-air games. We normally get like a 12-12 split of free-to-air games. This year, I think we've only got 7 that have been televised on 9, and we've had 2 of those already?
Yeah.
Yeah, round 2 and round 4. We've got another one this weekend. Then when's our next one? Dragons, I think. Yeah, Dragons at win in round 8. We've then got... I'm just sussing out my draw. So wait, that's what, 4, I think? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, then we don't have another one until round 15, Sunday 4 o'clock, and then round 19, Sunday 4 o'clock. Round 23, the Saturday 7:30, because Channel 9 add in the Saturday late game for the last 5 rounds. Round 21 at Campbelltown as well, Sunday 4 o'clock, and then another Sunday 4 o'clock in the final round of the season. Deja Vu Raiders at. Will not be in finals contention for that one this time round.
Oh, wow,
so
your
hopefully
audio just changed dramatically.
Completely deja vu.
Your audio just changed really bad.
You there?
Yeah, you there? You seem to have...
Can you hear me?
Oh, and it's changed again. I don't know what you did.
I think when I jumped off my bed, I might have unclipped my headset cord.
Oops.
So you were hearing my audio coming into my laptop, not into my headset speaker thingamajigama.
Yeah, that explains that then.
My apologies, everybody.
So have we got any other items on the agenda before we go to this week's tips?
I think that's pretty much covered, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll go to our tipping expert, which is you.
Well, I mean, I got 4 out of 8 last week, so I'm not that much of an expert.
Well,
I'm having an absolute sinker to start the year this year.
Yeah, you did that last year, remember? And then you nearly won your comp. You were close.
Yeah, but I am already a very long way behind. Like, let me tell you just how far behind I am after 4 rounds.
Well, so much for marketing you as our tipping expert.
I mean, I want to be the tipping expert, but I'm having an absolute stinker.
Yeah, you're the more analytical of the two, and you actually go in the tipping comps for money in there.
There are 50 players in this comp this year, so it's a much larger comp than last year. Yeah. I am currently ranked 44th.
You were something similar last year, I'm sure of it, and then you came back and nearly won it.
Not this bad. First place has 20 correct tips and 28.25 points all up.
They're definitely using hacks.
I have 17 correct tips and 19.75 points all up. So I'm 8.5 points behind first, I believe. Yeah, that sounds about right. That also takes into consideration the fact that I misclicked one of the games on the app last week. I tipped the Sharks, but for some reason on the app I clicked the Knights instead, so I lost a point there.
That's a bugger.
That annoyed me.
Yeah.
Considering the way the week's gone, that the week had gone, that annoyed me. I would have gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would have been 7 spots higher than I am now, just with that extra point alone.
Yeah. That's the thing. I just remembered the other thing I was going to mention. How do you feel about the media blowing up about Flanagan being promoted to halfback for the Dogs in our game? So they're saying that it's unfair and where's the he's being mistreated or whatever. I can't remember the exact headline now. But
I am worried that he is going to be used as the scapegoat if the Dogs get smashed. I think it's a really bad time.
yeah, so the headline is where's the duty of care? Dogs blasted as humiliated Carl Flanagan recall versus Penrith. So the whole thing is like, oh my god, I can't believe they're going to call him up for the Penrith game where they're going to get smashed, which they are going to get smashed, by the way, just in case anyone's not sure. But I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Cocky.
No, that's the Roosters. We're Panthers. We're more like meow. But
okay, I'm not gonna call you what I could call you based on that because it's a little bit less PG.
You've already used your naughty word limit for today.
Self-control, Aaron. Self-control.
Besides, you don't want to run out of swear words before the weekend.
Oh, don't worry. I'll have enough of those lined up for Sunday afternoon, and I will be screaming them at my TV most likely.
Yeah. Now, I said it on Tuesday when I saw the team list, and I was like, mostly joking, just because I thought it was funny. And then turn around the next day, and they're actually making serious articles out of this, and I'm like, that's why if you have a look on Twitter, I've actually been like, did you just take my comment and write an article about it? Because I'm like, I was joking. And then they're trying to be all serious about it, like, oh my god, what about his welfare? I'm like, are you telling me that a guy who's being paid the wage of an NRL first grader, whose job is to play NRL and who wants to play NRL, is going to be upset because you call him up to play against a good team? I don't think he's going to be that worried. Like, that's his job, and that's what he wants. And yes, as AJ just said, if he comes out and wins it for them, what happens then? Like, if he goes out and has an amazing game,
considered the next coming of Christ at Belmore.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure he would literally be like given a sainthood right there.
Name change, Jesus Flanagan.
Yeah, patron saint of Bulldogs. Like, even if they don't win, if he has a really good game and they don't get blown out or anything, like, this is a great opportunity for him. I don't like, and from what I've read, because obviously we haven't got to watch a lot of the reserve grade, he's actually played really well. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a bit silly that they're going off on it. I don't think it's mistreating role, though I do think he deserves a couple of weeks. Give him some time. He's the only real halfback they have. Burton and Averillo and all those guys, they're all sixes, so just let Burton and Flanagan sit in the halves for the rest of the season. What have you got to lose? You've got everything to gain and nothing to lose.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
Yes, I'll be normally with our games. The first time I watch it, all I care about is just our team, and I'm writing the emotion of it as everyone does. But I'll be very keen to see how he goes this weekend, and also how his game influences Burton, because he'll take all the management, he'll take all the responsibility that a halfback does, and Burton will actually be able to play his natural game. All right, now we're past the silly clickbait nonsense. Give us your tips, Tip Master.
Tip. Halfer. Extraordinaire.
There we go. You're breaking up a bit there, so I don't know.
All good now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Okay, let's go through the games, shall we?
Pull up the draw. So Thursday we have Knights versus Manly.
I mean, Tom Turbo out for this one is a big loss for Manly, but the Knights have been a shadow of their former selves after the good start to the season. So this one's going to be really tough. I think this one's going to be really close. At the moment, I'm leaning towards Manly with no real confidence. How about yourself?
I think I'd lean towards Manly, but very similar. I'm not confident. The Knights have played pretty well, all bar the, I think maybe one game. AJ said, hopefully Nathan can kick a few conversions this time. Yes, let's hope. I think that 8-point try really helped him out because he got to kick one from right in front.
How many did he get? Or how many?
He missed the first 2, I think, and then he was okay after that.
Nah, he missed the first 3.
3, I don't know.
I've just pulled it up.
I'm blanking it out. Only positive memories here, thank you.
Targo in the 2nd minute, he missed that one. Crichton in the 11th minute, he missed that one. And May in the 18th minute, he missed that one. May in the 49th minute, he got that, plus the penalty goal. And Liam Martin in the 69th minute, he got that one as well.
Well, I'm sorry that my team scored too many tries to keep track of.
Yeah, mine couldn't even score freaking 1.
It's so much easier to keep track of all that.
Yeah, 0 out of 0. Fucking fantastic.
But at least they didn't miss the kick, though. 0 missed kicks.
I was actually kind of hoping Brooks would miss the one to go 6-2 up.
That would have been perfect because you got the line drop out, some wasted time.
Yeah.
Would have been good. Friday, we got Warriors Cowboys.
This one is also another flip of the coin. Like, we're starting the weekend off with 2 flip of the coin games. This one,
I'm actually taking Cowboys a bit more confidently, honestly.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm more confident about this one than the Knights Manly game. Manly, I'd still take because, DC and they got decent team, but this one, I think Cowboys have been better this year. I think they'll be good.
Fair enough. At the moment, I'm probably leaning towards the Warriors. But, again, no real confidence.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Might have a bit more confidence for some games coming up, but definitely not those 2.
Well, you've got the next 2, which is the Friday 8 o'clock game is Roosters Broncos.
Roosters, easy, I think. The Broncos have tested them recently, but the Roosters are coming off a pretty good win after a pretty bad loss, so I'm going to back them to double up and continue the Broncos' form slump. They started off good, but they've crashed in a heap already, so...
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. They looked like they were going to start the year well. Sorry, Justin, if you hear this. They really did. I was really happy with how they looked, and then... I don't know. Not sure. So yeah, Roosters easily, unfortunately. They will do their roostery things. Saturday, 3 p.m, Storm Raiders.
Storm.
Yeah, kind of hard not to pick them. Funny, the Raiders used to be the Storm Killers. Now that has been passed over to the Eels.
The Raiders had that really good come from behind win against the Titans, but couldn't back it up against Manly. So it's hard to see them continuing or backing it or getting back on the winners list against the Storm. They're a bit too classy at the moment, I think.
Yeah,
and the Storm are also rather unlucky to not be 4-0 right now.
Yeah, the Raiders aren't what they were when they used to actually beat the Storm regularly.
No, absolutely not.
Saturday, 5:30, we've got the Rabbitohs versus the Dragons.
Well, the Dragons got the win against the Rabbits in the Charity Shield, so this one, that's throwing me off a little bit. I think the Rabbits will win, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dragons pull off the upset.
Oh, you're a Wagga boy. There we go. AJ says the Raiders Storm game is in my hometown. The country boy out from Wagga Wagga.
Very nice indeed.
You going to go to that game then, just so you can actually go watch a live game in your hometown? That'd be cool. I'd do it. Because obviously it's a bit of a trip to come up here and actually watch our own amazingly wonderful, undefeated, defending Premier team. Oh, wait, I said the quiet part loud.
Again, can't relate.
You'll get there. Once you get Dewey back, you'll be right. You'll be right. It's smooth sailing from there.
Yeah, but he's probably not coming back until fucking round, like post-Magic round, I think. Not until late May, early June, I don't think, which sucks. But anyway.
Yeah. He said, tickets sold out fast. I missed out. Wow. They must be footy hungry there. I guess you don't get many games, so that's a shame.
Yeah. The Raiders game in Wagga has always been fairly popular.
Yeah. I'm taking the Rabbitohs. I think they're starting to come good. Ilias, I thought was really good in our game, even though they didn't win. I thought he showed a lot of class, a lot of good touches. Mm-hmm. If Fatty Burgess got out of the way and didn't obstruct Fish, I think there was a good chance he still scored that try. Because there was an obstruction try where Burgess got in the way and Ilias ran the ball himself, scored a try.
Yep.
It was really good. Just Burgess couldn't move his bloody giant mass out of the way. Because he basically ran right up to Fish and then stopped in his face. So it's like he didn't knock him flying or anything, and Fish didn't milk anything. It just, he couldn't get past him properly.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a legit obstruction. It's like, why would you do that? You just screwed your own team.
What's next?
AJ says, unfortunately, I saw Panthers play here in 2019 when we had that 10-game losing streak. Ah, yes, the dark days of when we actually used to lose football games.
I'm still in those dark days.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Jeez, that would have sucked because, yeah, that was a bad year that year.
Yeah, the year you finished below the Tigers. What an atrocity.
I mean, we didn't make finals that year. Like, how dare that happen?
You finished 10th, I think, or 11th? I think it was 11th because we were 9th, the Raiders were 10th. Yeah,
it was an interesting one. And then to go from that to a grand final. All right, so the 7:30 game is Titans Eels on the Gold Coast at Seabus.
This one's going to be interesting, I think. The Titans were a very, very good attacking team at first, but they've kind of fallen away.
Yeah.
The question is, will they find that again against the Eels, or will the Eels be too good again? You'd have to say the Eels are going to be too good again.
Yeah, you'd have to pick the Eels. And for a minute there, I thought I was looking at the wrong week. And I'm like,
the refs are absolutely loving the Eels so far, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Yeah. But I thought I was looking at the wrong week for a minute. I'm like, hang on a minute. They're playing again, aren't they? Which is interesting way to do it.
It was round 1 and round 5.
That's a very quick turnaround for the two of them.
But 2018, we played the Storm in round 2 and then in round 5.
Yeah, but it happens a bit. It's, I don't know, it's unusual.
Idiosyncrasies with the draw that are just strange.
Though I do think this will be more in favour of the Eels, this one. I think they looked really good last week. They're starting to come together.
I think Gutherson wants some payback for the Gutherino against him, but I thought he deserved it because he's an absolute
good laugh out of that
knob.
I thought that was hilarious. That was great. That was a good one. Sunday, 10th of April, 4:05 p.m. Sharks versus Tigers. Dun, dun,
Don't you mean 6:15 Bulldogs versus Panthers? There's no game before that. Bulldogs versus Panthers is the first game on Sunday, isn't it?
No, special event.
No, I protest.
Literally everyone's invited. We played Manly twice in 6 weeks last year as well.
I want the Tigers to be competitive, but I'm going to be tipping the Sharks. I've tipped the Tigers 3 weeks in a row, and it's backfired on me all three. So I'm not tipping them again until they can win a game.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. They need to earn you back. Justin says here, hey Justin, Justin's here. Oh my god.
Hey Justin,
tell your team to get better. I was really enjoying them at the start of the year. Go back to Catewell kicking field goals for wins and stuff like that. That was highly entertaining.
Yeah, I can't see the Tigers winning this one. I'd like to see them winning this one, but they need to get their shit together.
Yeah, I think
sooner rather than later, preferably. We are going to struggle without. We've got a lot of outs. I know we've got Hastings still out. We've got Dewey still out. We've got Stefano out now. Talau is still out. Capoe is still out. Blore is out for the whole year. Yeah, we've been hit pretty hard by the injuries and the concussions and everything so far. So
yeah,
I hope we can be competitive, but I don't see us winning this one.
Yeah,
I will be screaming myself hoarse at the TV though.
Yeah,
complaining about every ref call that goes against us as I normally do.
Yeah, not that I gamble or anything, but yeah, you're at $7. That's pretty long odds. You've got the same odds that the Dogs have against us.
I know. I saw that and I'm like, oh wow.
But I mean, the Sharks are looking good on the other side of it. They are looking pretty decent. So I think they're going to touch you guys up a bit, unfortunately.
They've just had that one loss, and that was the first round, last second loss to the Raiders.
Like, they're looking at the barrel of top 4 if they can keep it up.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, I think the Tigers are going to get a bit of a spanking.
I'd like them to not get a spanking. If they can lose by less than 10, I guess I'll accept it, but we really need to win.
Yeah. Justin says, I hope my side can turn it around this week. Yeah, hopefully you can. It's just the unfortunate thing is you're playing the Roosters. AJ says we might get an upset Sunday. There's going to be upset Sunday. It just depends on who.
It's going to be me who's upset.
I think. I don't see it. I mean, they could just on sheer pride come out and do it, and we've seen football rugby league teams do it many times before. It just depends how much they want it, I guess. And how much the refs start sinking in that 6 again crap again, and trying to, we spoke about earlier. For those who missed it, go back and watch it when you get the chance. But yeah, we spoke about the NRL's obsession with trying to speed the game up and all that. If they just leave things alone, the game is quite well balanced at the moment. And then a team like the Tigers, who may on paper not have a chance against the Sharks, if they show up with a good attitude, should be able to compete with them. But that's if they allow that to happen. So we'll see. And then Sunday, 6:15 p.m, where I have to wait all bloody weekend of work to get to this wonderful game that is definitely going to be good for me.
Got a question for you. How much would you be tipping the Panthers to win by? Do you think it'll be close? Do you think it'll be a blowout? What are you thinking?
I think it's going to be a blowout. Rules or not, I don't think that's going to apply. The Dogs are playing with good attitude and whatnot, but yeah.
So what sort of margin are you thinking?
I'm going to call it 30. I don't like normally tipping big margins, but I just... Yeah.
Okay.
So if it is to be something other than what I'm expecting, they do have there is this thing in the NRL where teams generally have a better game after they get flogged. That seems to be something that happens. So, they got flogged last week, so they might show up and play a better game against us, and then you've got the whole Kyle Flanagan thing happening. So if they are to not get flogged, those two factors basically have to come together, and they have to have a good game.
So I have one of my workmates, he is a Dogs fan. He's made a bet with me for this one.
Yep.
He reckons the Dogs will either win or lose by 20 or less. I have said I disagree, and I think the Dogs will lose by more than 20. It's a $20 bet. How safe do you reckon my $20 is?
I personally think it's safe, but I don't know how much personal bias I've got there.
Yeah, there is a bit of bias there, so it's going to be...
But like I said, they do have the bounce back factor after getting smashed, and they've actually letting their genuine halfback play as the halfback this week for the first time this year. So if they are to do something differently, this will be the week that it happens. But
better late than never.
In saying that, Nathan Cleary's also had a game now to get the cobwebs out.
Yeah.
And we've got at least some roster stability happening. I mean, Targo and May on that left side are going to have a great time of it. They're going to have a very good day, I think. And then we've got Staines and Crichton on the other side, who, again, are building a decent combination, and we're one of the better defensive teams in the league. And they struggled to score against the Storm. I don't know. I just don't see it being close. They're going to have to play a hell of a game if they want to keep it close.
Going to have to play out of their skin.
All right. That is us. If there's anything chat like to shout out quickly before we end, otherwise we will have to head off. It's a heavy burden supporting the best team in the game at the moment, so I get quite tired and need to sleep.
And crying because I support the worst team in the world makes me tired as well.
Yes.
But I also have to go be social.
Yes. Aaron goes and plays pool on the Wednesdays, which is why we normally do it on the Tuesdays, but everything's been a bit weird for us. We will be back to normal next week and try and get more consistent through the year. I know my time starts settling a little bit from here.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, Tuesday nights, be with us. Invite more people to come and listen. And I'm also going to look into audio only versions to upload a podcast, but see how all that works.
Okay, cool.
But we'll see. I don't know how all that works yet, but we'll look into it. AJ says, Aaron the pool shark, eh? Yep.
I try. I'm not that great, but I've improved a lot since I started. So I haven't played since January, so hopefully I'm not too rusty.
Yep.
But thank you everyone for tuning in. We appreciate you all, and good luck to all your teams on the weekend. I hope that by the time Tuesday rolls around, the Tigers have won and I have no voice, because I have celebrated long and hard into the night.
He's hoping. All right. Good night and good luck to everybody. And we definitely appreciate that you've been here. We particularly love having people in chat to chat to. It's been great.
Chat is not much of a chat if there is no one in the chat.
Exactly. Like, what's even the point? The chat makes NRL happen.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you and
See
good
you
night.
next week.